I guess I am good, just rushing. No party. When? Nothing much. In the evening? Oh, I was thinking. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivara Dhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Nandana Braja Jamuna Tira Vanacharya Tira Yamuna Tira Vanacharya Yamuna Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari 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 Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajakacarya Shrotra Shri Shrimad Abhay Charanarvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON Beauty Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajakacarya Shrotra Shri Shrimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories, all Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 14, Verses 15 and 60-61. Etatte sarvam akyatam Yat prishto ham iha tvaya tat kaumare harikritam paugande parikirtitam. Translation. Since you inquired from me, I have fully described to you those activities of Lord Hari that were performed in his 5th year, but not celebrated until his 6th. Etat suridbhis charitam murare Aghardanam sadvala jemanam cha Vyaktite tarad rupam Ajorva abhishtavam Shrinvam grinam iti naro khilarthan. Any person who hears or chants these pastimes, Lord Murari performed with his cowherd friends, the killing of Aghasur, the taking of lunch on the forest grass, the Lord's manifestation of transcendental forms, and the wonderful prayers offered by Lord Brahma, is sure to achieve all his spiritual desires. Purport. According to Srila Sanatana Goswami, even one who is only inclined to hear the chant and chant the pastimes of Lord Krishna will achieve spiritual perfection. Many devotees seriously engaged in propagating Krishna consciousness are often so busy that they cannot chant and hear the pastimes of the Lord to their full satisfaction. However, simply by their intense desire to always chant and hear about Lord Krishna, they will achieve spiritual perfection. Of course, as far as possible, one should actually vibrate these transcendental pastimes of the Lord. Evam viharair kaumare kaumaram jahatur vraje nilayane setu bandher markatot plavanadibhi. In this way, the boys spent their childhood in the land of Vrindavan, playing hide and go seek, building play bridges, jumping about like monkeys, and engaging many other such games. Purport: according to Srila Sanatana Goswami, the word Nilayane refers to games such as hide and go seek or cops and robbers. Sometimes the boys would jump around like monkeys in Lord Ramachandra's army, and they enact the building of the bridge to Sri Lanka by constructing play bridges in lakes or ponds. Sometimes the boys would imitate the pastime of churning the ocean of milk, and sometimes they would play catch with balls. We can find full pleasure in the spiritual world, with the simple condition that everything be performed in pure love of Godhead, Krishna consciousness. Thus end the purpose of the humble servants of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada to the 10th canto, 14th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Brahma's Prayers to Lord Krishna. Om Ajnanatimirantasya Jnananjana Shalakya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupak Dhamaya Dadati Swapadantikam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shri Mate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukham karoti vachalam pangulangayati girim yat kripatam vande Shri Guru Deenataranam vanchakalpataroisha kripasindhavaicha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. So henceforth, from chapter 14 till the end of Bhagavatam, we heard from the disciples of Srila Prabhupada. And this is the first chapter which comes in. Prabhupada gave the last chapter as chapter 13. And that's why in our sampradaya we glorify the calves and the gopas being stolen by Brahmadev. But in Madhvacharya sampradaya, they actually do not have this pastime because Brahma is the head of the sampradaya, right? So it is not good that Brahma makes such mistakes, But we accept it as is, and our acharyas also give it, and Srila Prabhupada also gave it while he was leaving the planet. And we can see that actually, I was listening to a class, and over there we see that Prabhupada actually gave us everything since day one. And that's why over here it is, Radha Govind Maharaj says in one of his lectures that the only purpose of this body, of these ears, eyes, it's there somewhere in Bhagavatam, that the only purpose is to do devotional service. And then Maharaj was saying, in Hindi obviously, he was saying that the only purpose is to hear about the Lord. Yes, His pastime. And over here, that's why in the purport it is given, one who is only even inclined to hear, he'll get spiritual perfection. Yes. What about the people who are constantly hearing? Yes. But in the end it's given that, of course, in the next purport is given, but it should be performed in pure love of Godhead, in love for Krishna. Yes. When a beloved hears about his lover or whoever, they actually, they experience, they're hearing in the mood of submission also. oh, this is my, this thing, that thing, and they like to hear it. Yes. So similarly, when we have attachment to Krishna, the symptom of attachment to Krishna is that that person wants to hear about Krishna. Not only Krishna, it's not only the 10th canto, not only the gopis' pastimes, but even the 5th canto, even the 3rd canto, where it is only about philosophy, the creation, and it is very, very disturbing to hear for people who have grown up in the modern system, and it is even bewildering for people who just start bhakti also. It is bewildering even now. The thing is that the hala, like Maharaj was explaining, and I was contemplating on this point, that when the halahal poison came out of the ocean and it was taken by Lord Shiva and like how should I say, concentrated in his hands, and then he held it over here, some drops actually fell on earth. And the animals like the snakes, scorpions, and whoever has venom. Oh, is it okay? I thought it was loud enough. Is it better? Okay. So they actually drink that, and that's why they are poisonous. They are venomous. Like whether it's the rattlesnakes in Arizona, or it's the king cobras in Africa, or it's the black mambas in Africa. It's all because Lord Shiva dropped some drops of halahal onto the planet, and it's not by mistake, obviously. And even the scorpions, which we are scared of, they are all coming from, the pastime of the churning of the ocean, which the boys enact. Yes. Now, if you tell this to a scientist, oh my God, imagine the level of scrutiny, and then how is that possible, and how you can drink and do all this and that, and then even the devotees, even for people who have studied also, it's a little, you have to give reasons, no, this and that. Very difficult to accept. But it is a fact. We might not understand those details, but it is a fact. Lord Shiva purposely dropped them, and that's why the poison is there today in all these animals, these insects or whatever, reptiles, Komodo dragons, And the most weird things, is which I've heard, like from my childhood, like the Komodo dragons, right? Their venom is actually, they are like a big buffalo, and they are very small. Like, they are big, but they are not like big as a buffalo. They are not moving fast. They are very slow. They just come from behind and they bite the buffalo on the leg, and they leave the buffalo. The buffalo will go, And you might think that, it's gone. Like, oh, he couldn't catch it. The Komodo dragon couldn't catch it. But no, the thing is that the saliva of the Komodo dragons has that poison. So because they have bitten the buffalo actually, after a few days, it cannot do anything. The poison starts, eating up all the intestines and everything. And the blood becomes very thick. And it eventually dies. And the smell of that poison, because the Komodo dragon has bitten, right? They follow. It might go anywhere, miles apart. The Komodo dragon follows and eventually catches his prey and then devours, It might be still alive, but it eats it alive, Now, the point is that, there's so many aspects over here that, our karma, which wherever we might be, because we have taken a bite of material energy, we are going to get bitten and we are going to get killed eventually. So the only shelter is Krishna. Yes, and all these poisons and all, like we said, it's very interesting. The whole material world is so interesting. I was reading Bhagavatam yesterday, this one shloka, and Brahmadev is seeing the Lord for the first time from his lotus. And the Lord's hands and feet are unlimited. His transcendental body is unlimited. He cannot measure. And then they are talking about how beautiful the Lord's body is. And it is mocking the coral mountain. It mocks the waterfalls, the rivers, the trees on the mountain. And I was just, and I have read that before, like maybe 7 years back or 10 years back. Definitely 10 years back I've read it, 12 years back. But at that time I was just reading, I'm like, yeah, move on. Like what is this appreciation? But now that you think about it, like these pastimes which Sanatan Goswami and all these acharyas are giving, why are they so beautiful? We cannot imagine how beautiful. It's like the Lord's body is mocking the coral mountain. It was written like that, and Prabhupada says, anything beautiful in this material world, yes, it's just a glimpse of the beauty of the Lord. And I was thinking over there that this is about Vishnu, Lord Krishna, Madhav Hari, has much more beauty than Vishnu. Yes, he's so beautiful that his primary aspect of Krishna, most primary aspect, yes, he's a Bhakta Vatsa, but the most primary aspect, all the devotees of Lord Krishna or Vishnu, but most primarily Krishna, they all fall for his beauty. Do not go on the banks of Yamuna. Yes, that blackish form will attract you and you won't be able to enjoy this material world. Rupa Goswami says, right? Yes, and on the banks of Yamuna, and similarly in Pandharpur also, on the banks of Chandrabhaga, Lord Vitthal stands. And that, because that is the place where, Swayambhu, Lord Vitthal is self-manifested deity. And you can see, like, it is the same thing they say about Lord Vitthal, because Krishna, the acharyas say over there, that you do not go to Pandharpur and see Lord Vitthal. You won't be able to enjoy the material world again. And it is a fact. It's a fact. And it's like, you go for scuba diving and all that stuff, and you see underwater, everything is like I don't know what is a coral mountain. You can just imagine how it looks like, right? With colors and everything, and it's so bright and shiny. I don't know where to see a coral mountain in this world, at least. But when you see the corals underwater, so beautiful, very beautiful. All the fish, different colors. Every fish has a different color. They all are moving in shoals. Big fish, small fish, tiny seahorses, the manta rays. And, the crabs. Even the crabs are so beautiful. And it's like there's nothing in your ears. You're having, have to use the thing and all. You're not talking to each other. And there are slugs which are poisonous. But they are very bright colored, They are like yellow, orange on the, on the boundary, and then they have blue spots on them. Very beautiful, and I was just amazed, And then the corals, like they have big fans, and which you see on movies and all in TV. Very beautiful, and big eyes of the fish. They'll be looking at you. You go to touch them, they won't come near you, or something like that. And I've never seen such a thing before, ever. Like you've been to Alaska, you've been to Colorado, you've been so many places. But nothing is as beautiful as seeing all these, because it's every single moment, everything is moving, and you're getting the aspect of beauty everywhere. And yesterday I was reading that shloka, and I was like, the Maitreya Muni is saying that the Lord is very beautiful. He mocks this coral mountain. Even today, when I imagine, how beautiful it was. But imagine the Lord, his Nakhamandal, it says. Over there, Maitreya Muni goes, his Nakhamandal on his feet, so beautiful that it mocks hundreds and millions of moons together. Can't imagine how beautiful the Lord is. And in that moment, I was thinking in the water, or maybe when I came out of the water, the thing is that what is more beautiful than this? You're just thinking like this. So beautiful. The water is so beautiful, crystal clean. There's no dust, there's no mud. It's just so beautiful. Everything is so beautiful. You come out, it's beautiful. You go inside, oh, it's beautiful. Everything is beautiful. And then I was thinking, where have I felt this, You start thinking what. And then I was thinking what Srila Prabhupada and the Acharyas see when they see the Lord. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ran to Jagannath, we're going to have Rath Yatra tomorrow. He runs to Lord Jagannath to see his beautiful form and see his eyes. His form is like the beautiful lotus, and Mahaprabhu's eyes are thirsty, like honeybees, to drink the nectar of Jagannath. If we show Mahaprabhu the underwater world, I was thinking, he would be like, what is this? This is so bogus. What is this material? It's so bogus. And Prabhupada writes over there in purport that this material, not a real devotee, a pure devotee, when he sees the material world, he doesn't get impressed at all. Why? Because he knows what is real beauty. And then he writes again, it doesn't mean that they don't appreciate, but it is not impressive. Because why? The Lord is impressive. Why? Because He is actually so beautiful. And that beautiful Lord is playing with His cowherd boys, friends. And He's performing these pastimes of Ramayana, every pastime. Just appreciating, the beauty of the Lord. And the Lord Brahma was bewildered. How is it? But he couldn't see that beauty immediately. And Raghav Pandit Prabhu said a very nice point last Saturday. He said that Lord Krishna did not say anything. Krishna didn't say anything when Lord Brahma actually offered prayers. He got to know that, okay, it's time, he needs to go. He's praying that let me be this in Vrindavan. But Lord Krishna did not satisfy his desire at that moment. And so Lord Brahma, he said that he comes as Harida. And I was, wow, such nice way Raghav Pandit Prabhu mentioned that point. And I was thinking, yeah, this is so nice to know that he's not ready. You should go back and do your duty. Yes. And that's why when Radha Govind Maharaj mentioned that the only purpose is to get attracted by the Lord, to be infatuated by the Lord, to be infatuated by His pastimes. Why? Because in that infatuation, even a common boy and a girl become mad. They cannot sleep. They want to meet each other again and again. Even married couples, when will we meet? If they are, they have COVID and all. But we do not have the desire to see the Lord that way. We do not have the desire to be with the Lord that way. And that's why Srila Prabhupada came to give us this. Yes, he came to give us this. Very important to know what is there. Otherwise, how will we desire for it? We won't be able to desire. I was listening yesterday to a class, and they were talking about, just randomly, it was about Bhakti Sandarbha, but somehow that aspect came about however the congregation is something about community came up, and then Rath Yatra, and I was shocked to hear. The thing is that we can organize Rath Yatra. Yes, we are organizing Rath Yatra tomorrow and so many things. But Maharaj was saying that till the moment that congregation or the community is organizing, maybe there might be many reasons why we might be organizing. But if it is not the reason, the proper reason, that people might get Krishna, people might get to see the Lord, people might actually get prasad and they get benefit and they will chant Hare Krishna and they will come closer to the Lord and Srila Prabhupada would be happy. Yes, if that consciousness is not there, that elevated consciousness is not there, people do not get as much benefit. It's not how should we say, you press a button and the fan goes on. Correct. But if the fan has some problems in it, like I have a fan in the house, how much ever you'll pull, the 1, 2, 3, it won't go fast. because the fan has a problem. So we might be organizing, Maharaj was saying this, but if the community and the congregation devotees do not have that, it's not that Mahaprabhu is magically going to do stuff. Yes, it's not like that. If the congregation, if the devotees who are preaching, who are discussing, who are talking, if they are not elevating their consciousness, yes, they are not trying to get attached to Krishna, actively, they cannot infuse that level of surrender in the other person also, even though it might be on a grand scale. Yes, because even outside, concerts are there, right? Arjit Singh and so many people are there, Taylor Swift and all. They have so many people who have a fan following. But none of them are chanting Hare Krishna. Because why? They cannot touch the transcendental. And the person who is in middle are the devotees for the common people and the Lord. Yes. So when they are even doing the kirtan for Lord Jagannath, if people have the intention that, it's just a PR stunt, or we are showing this because we want, this, that and everything, prestige, then the benefit is very less. Benefit is very less. And that's why that is why it is mentioned that senior devotees should do things for festivals and all. Why? Because when people come, that infusion of faith, of surrender can be given by seniors. We appreciate and we give opportunity to everyone. But this aspect, if not known, then the congregation remains a neophyte congregation. Yes, none of us will grow. Yes, because there is lack of surrender. Yes, if the community doesn't show unity, doesn't cooperate, the Lord doesn't become impressed. He won't come and actually bless and increase the preaching movement. He won't. Yes, Shri Radha Madhavari ki. And similarly for deities also, the people who are serving, Maharaj was saying, the people who are organizing the festivals, who are doing the Abhishek, everything, even the people who are doing kirtan for the Abhishek, if the people do not have that in them, the deity is not being inspired, they won't give. They won't attract people who want to be surrendered. Yes, because ultimately Krishna organizes everything. We might think we might be organizing, but if we do not have that surrender, if we are not focused, if we are not attentive, yes, with that ultimate aim, that yes, we want these people to actually become Krishna conscious and to chant Hare Krishna so that it will be better for them. Not because I will gain prestige and power. If that Trinadapi Sunichena is not there in the seniors, you cannot infuse it in the juniors. And if we have this modern concept of equal opportunity, which is good to one extent, but it doesn't go to the transcendental realm. Yes? Yes, that's why when festivals come, we want seniors to do stuff. It's not, prestige hankering stunt. As people might think. Why? Because they come from these backgrounds. Like even I come from that background. I used to think that way. But no, it's not like that. That's why Prabhupada was very strong about these points. That seniors should do the main artis. Seniors should do the main abhishek. Seniors should sing. At least it should be there. Why? Because they have that surrender. They can infuse. Otherwise, a person might have good speaking skills, kirtan skills, and all these things, but they do not have the devotion. And how do we know that that person has a devotion? Yes, the attraction for Krishna. It's very difficult to judge. That's another issue. But to actually see what that person speaks, how he behaves, from that we can understand a little bit. Maybe, consistently for years. Then we understand there might be something going on, Otherwise, even that person might be sitting over there, like me, who's saying stuff, it might not go through at all. You might be good at doing kirtan, yes, singing ragas so beautifully. But the thing is that nobody's getting inspired. You might have fame, prestige, but for the preaching movement, not at all. Krishna is not impressed. Why? Because he's just not. He doesn't care because he is that ability. He has everything. He is that beautiful. He doesn't have to impress anyone. He's only impressed by the pure devotion. Yes? And that's why this consciousness is very lacking when we come into the modern world. Lack of authority, lack of respect for authority. I can do because I know it is the best thing. I can say whatever I want to say. And it goes by because this is the right thing. Yeah, Krishna is not pleased with any of that. Why? Because surrendering to Guru means you have to respect authority. Yes. I will only surrender to Guru and nobody else. But when the Guru tells to do stuff, we won't do it. Why? Because we are not close to our Gurus. The Guru, for me definitely, he'll thrash and smash. He'll be like, what is this nonsense going on? And I will not accept what he says. When push comes to shove, I'll be like, it's better that I'm far, not near. People might say anything. Let this, maybe in our any congregation, that no, it's good to be near our Guru. Yeah, try it out. Try it out. Your inhibitions come out after 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. They will come out and you'll start behaving the same way. And familiarity breeds contempt. Gaur Govind Maharaj was very strong. Haldar Maharaj used to say that this one story he had given, I'll just end with that. He said that, there was this one brahmachari and he was serving Gaur Govind Maharaj. And Gaur Govind Maharaj told him, see, do you know who you're dealing with? Yes. Do you know? Pata hai? He's like, yes Maharaj, with the Guru. No, you're dealing with fire. So, I will not tell you anything. The only interaction that brahmachari had, Haldar Maharaj was saying, that, pani lao, wo book lao, bring this. And then if I am in that position, I'll think the same thing. That, I was getting an opportunity to serve the Guru and he's not favoring me at all. He's not sharing me his intimate pastimes and everything, right? I might have that expectation. But Gaur Govind Maharaj, no, you just do this, whatever in public class, that's it. No personal talking, no nothing. So one day this brahmachari Maharaj was saying that he said, he was thinking that every single day in the morning, Maharaj gets up and then he has to take a bath. So there was this motor you had to start. Then the motor will, you'll have shower and all. But he was thinking that, water is there and all. He said that I never get to go to this Mangal Aarti. I want to go for Mangal Aarti. And then he went for Mangal Aarti, and that same day, there was no water in the tank. And he forgot to, obviously he went for Mangal Aarti, so he didn't start the motor. And then Maharaj went into the bathroom, and there is no water. Maharaj started shouting. And then he came back after Mangal Aarti. He's like, this guy, he's duplicitous, and Haldar Maharaj says many other words, that Gaur Govind Maharaj was very heavy. You think that Guru is different from Krishna? You don't know what is Krishna. Get out from here. And he was thrashing him. And he's like, get him out. He sees difference between Guru and Krishna. Get him out. He thinks Mangal Aarti is more important than this. And then from that day, there was a rule. Every 3 months, the brahmachari will change. No, because familiarity breeds. He's become familiar with the Guru. Get out. Get out from my eye, in front of my eyes. And I was thinking, and Haldar Maharaj was saying, today what do we have? We don't have anything like this. Even the Haldar Maharaj was saying, the Guru has to run behind the disciple and ask, are you chanting? Is everything okay? Are you okay? Okay, let me help you. Rather than the Guru doing his own bhajan, the disciple needs to be pampered and done so many things. He's like, aisa nahi tha hamare time pe, he used to say. Very, very difficult things. We have got, Radhanam Maharaj says this, once they were installing that AC in Radha Gopinath temple. Like over here we need AC, otherwise we cannot survive. But in India, no temples have AC, literally no temples have AC. Temple halls at least, But Gopinath is made in such a way that they have AC, Why? Because Gaurang Prabhu is like, Maharaj, we need only pillows and beds now. Anyways, people sleep in your class. So now they just need pillows and bed. They'll sleep at the beginning of Jai Radha Madhav and they'll get up at Jai Prabhupada. So then he was saying, Maharaj was saying, no, all these devotees coming from so far, they travel from trains, locals, so hot. Let them come. Let them come and sit peacefully, at least in the temple. They should hear Katha very nicely. It is for them. And Radha Govind Maharaj says the same thing. The purpose is only for hearing and chanting. Because I was listening in the class, he was like, ये सब फूल देना, आरती देना, बाद में करो. कथा के time ये सब मत करो. This is not required. Just focus on Katha. Do not have distractions during Katha. And I was like thinking that they are so eager for us to hear, And then Radhana Maharaj was saying that no, let them have AC, they should hear nicely. And Gaurang Prabhu was thinking, Maharaj said this one thing, I have struggled a lot to get Krishna consciousness. I don't want you all to suffer and struggle. And that's why these yatras, the temples, Prabhupada also struggled to give us this katha. Radha Govind Maharaj giving so many kathas. They're struggling, It's their ecstasy, and at the same time they're spending gallons and gallons of blood to make these kathas so nice for us so that we can be focused on Krishna. Before all these devotees, if you go out there, like if you see all these Bhagavatam classes out there, it's nice, they will talk about so many things, professional Bhagavatam speakers, but there is no devotion, They won't go in depth explaining Acharya's commentaries and all and relating it to us in our today's world. But our Acharyas, our Gurus have spent so much time. Like even Romapad Maharaj with Tattva Sandhya, he'll spend time to address all these issues, which people might have with philosophy, so that normal people might understand, So Prabhupada gave us everything. People who want Gyanis, they have this big philosophy. People who are attracted to the deity, they have deity worship. People who want to hear Rasik Kathas, they have, Krishna book, Kirtan, everything is there. Why? And that's why Haldar Maharaj says, you don't know what the Guru has done for us, and protection which these devotees has given us from all these Babas in Vrindavan, Mayapur, other communities. So much protection in their words. It's unbelievable. Haldar Maharaj says, we do not know what they have given us. We do not know what they have provided, this mercy which protects us so much. You will understand when the Guru leaves what he did for you. And I was thinking that I have no appreciation at all. Yes. So we should develop that gratefulness at least, that we have everything. We don't have to go anywhere else. Yes. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.